Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things in the world, which is planners. And I will be going through my personal planner today. And this is the personal size. It's a Medium Compagna by Gillio is the company. And this is a purple Croco eye, which is beautiful, beautiful leather. I've had it for about 9 months, I would say, and I've been using it probably 6 months, and it looks brand new. So it holds up really well. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Today I'm gonna be talking about the setup of my planner as well as kind of how I plan and use it. So I have never done a video setup of my personal rings planner that I know of, so this is the first. All right, so I'm going to quickly go through what's on the pockets because when I look at planner videos, I want to know how they use the planner more than how they set up like all the decorations and pockets and stuff like that. Also, I'm not a decorator really. I have a few stickers in here. Mostly they're functional. I don't really decorate. I am pretty much a functional planner. So on this side, there's a front pocket, which I stuff with these little stencils from Hobonichi. I use them. I use this one like almost every day. I use all three of these a lot. So I put them just right in there. Behind that, I have some mini notebook papers that I like to just jot notes on, and then I can just washi tape them into my planner. I have 3 pictures that I take with me from planner to planner, which I just love looking at them. And then this is a decoration piece, which is weird because I don't normally have something in there, but I do have a couple of them in this planner right now. I'm trying to make myself use this more because I've been kind of a planner funk and haven't used it very much. Okay, so in this pocket back here, I just have a bunch of washi strips that I can use if I need to quickly put something in my planner, and I have a couple of small sticky notes. In the zipper, I have just the Gillio card that came with the planner, and I have an extra little sticky pocket. And that is all I keep in there. I usually have a charm on my planners here on the zipper pull, but I haven't found one yet for this planner, so I don't have one. Behind there, I have stickers, and these are, like I said, functional stickers for the most part, and I get them almost every sticker in here that you're gonna see is from Planner Kate. And then I have just something that I need to reference for medical stuff that I put back there. In the back pockets, I have a key to my symptoms chart, and so I'm not going to show you, but on the back there's like all the symbols that I use to track medical symptoms. I have another stencil, which I don't really use that much. I have some larger sticky notes in case I ever need a larger one. I have more stencils here. I have these zinc papers for my little portable planner because I like to, if I want to add in a picture, I kind of want to see like how much room it's going to take on the page. And just some extra tags. So that's all that's in the back pocket. Behind there, I do have some larger papers. I have some lists that are punched and ready to go to put in my planner. These are Planner Kate, no, Kate Spade. And then these are also Kate Spade, just some notes that I can write and stick in. And then I have a couple of rulers because I do draw out most of my pages in here myself. In the very back, I have just some important reference papers that I want to keep track of. I think that's it. Okay, so then we get into the actual planner setup. So I have created all my dashboards and dividers using scrapbook paper. If you want to know where any of this is from or what collection it's from, just leave me a comment and I will try to link it and add it in. So Behind that, the first section here is all stuff related to the year. It's kind of my collections reference information. So, and it's related to the specific year. So I have a calendar printout. This is from Peanuts Planner Co. Most all of my printed pages are going to be from her shop, and I will link that below. And it just has, I like this one because it has the week numbers, and I use that a lot when I'm working on Project Life, so I like to have those. And then I've just highlighted my paydays. On the back, I list out by quarter what weeks are in the quarter, and then what week I need to do my planning for the next quarter. So I do quarterly goal setting and planning. The next sheet is just important dates. So I have birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. I think one thing that I do differently than most people is I put the number. So for example, March 15th is Ellie and Lucas's first anniversary. So every year I just increment the number by one so I can keep track of the years that way, which is nice. I have a list of all the paid holidays between my husband and my work, and I just kind of highlighted which one of us got which one off, so I can see, like, he gets President's Day off, but I don't, so sometimes I will take that day off, so we have that together. The next section is related to PTO time from work as well. So this is my paid time off, so I write down how many days I have. I get 28 days a year, plus I have like a ton of carryover days this year. So I have to kind of be mindful of using that up as much as I can so it doesn't stop accruing. And then I have notes here on when it will stop accruing and things like that. My husband's is a lot easier because he gets unlimited PTO, so I just keep track of what time he has taken. The next page is also from Peanuts Planner Co., like I mentioned, and this is a fold out sheet of the year, and it's kind of just an overview of what actually happened. So this is planning and making sure I'm not taking off too much time, or that I am using enough time off. And then this tracks what we actually did. The color coding, I usually put a key at the top at the end of the year, but I've been using this for, I think, 8 years or so, so I'm very familiar with what all the colors mean just by looking at it. And then I do go back and stamp, like if we had a flight or I had a flight that day, or if I drove some, like a vacation that I drove, I'll put that in here. And then any major things, like I had LASIK surgery on January 3rd, so I just put that in there. So that's what that is. This next one, and all of these in this section pull out, so I can pull them out and write on them and then stick them back in. And I don't have a problem with them falling out. So this is a symptom tracker, which the key on the, in the back pocket has all these different symbols and what they mean. So obviously you can see I haven't gone through and filled it out since March, but I do have all this stuff on my daily planner pages. So I can go back and fill this in. Okay, the next one is one that I drew out, and this is just basically a checklist to help me make sure that I'm setting up my planner each month. So I need to make sure I do all of these things when I set up my planner, and then I have it listed out by month, and I just check off when I have it completed. I don't have anything on the back side, but I think I'm going to go through and do kind of a checklist for setting up my planner for next year. And I just have to mention, my nails look atrocious because I am way overdue for a mani, and the person that was supposed to, that I'm supposed to have my appointment with today is actually out sick getting a COVID test. So I was like, yeah, I'm not coming in. So just a side note, because they're bugging me. Okay, back to the planner. So this first section here, and I don't label my sections because I don't really use the tabs most of the time to get to what I need to get to. So let's talk about tabs really quick. I do have side tabs for all of my different sections, and I have 6 sections. And then at the top, I have 3 tabs, and then at the bottom, I have 2 tabs. And I usually get to whatever I need to get to by the top section or the bottom. So if it's the current month, I know I just go to tab 1, there's my current month. If it's the week, I go to tab 2, and if it's the current day, I go to tab 3. Very easy for me to know and remember because I've used this order for a long time. And then the bottom flips to other sections that I need to get to quickly. So I have the first one that flips directly to my notes page. So here it will flip to the first page where I can take a note, so I'm not having to flip through pages. I can just flip here and start writing. And then the last tab on the bottom flips to my current project section, which I'll go through in a minute, but I can quickly go here and look at my project list or write down something that I need to do. Okay, so then let's get back to this section. So the first section here is my monthly pages, and I have my own monthly pages that I draw out every month. And again, they're slit, so I can just pull them out of the planner. I have, and this 10.25 is actually the length of this paper, so I know when I need to create more, how long to cut the paper. And I will talk also about paper in just a second. So for monthly, I just draw out the calendar. On this section here is where I index my month, and I will talk about that also in just a minute. On the back, I have my monthly tracker, which the top section I use for cleaning, and then the bottom section I use for tasks that I need to do every single week. So I don't want to rewrite all of these every week. I just put them on here and then check them off each week. You will notice that I'm not very good at remembering to fill this out, but it's nice to have. And then some months I actually go through and I'll highlight like what days I'm planning on getting these things done. So it helps me kind of plan them out and put them in my weekly pages. I also rewrite the important dates for the month here. I write down any kind of fun things that are going on for the month that I'm looking forward to. And then I write down things that I need to get done that month. And again, I have more about that when I get to my project section. So that's what's in the first section. Let's talk about paper really quick. So I cut all of my paper and out of notebooks because I have very specific paper that I like, and I will show you that right now. So yeah, I have a big stack of notebooks. These are all the CD notebooks, and there's different kinds. So there's plain paper, there's lined paper, there's different sizes. There's like, I think this is A5, I want to say. Oh, B5. Plain paper. And in most of these, I think, maybe not that one yet, but you can see where I've taken paper out, like here. I've ripped paper out. So what I do is I actually print some of my paper or pages on this paper. So I take it out of the notebook and I cut it down to 5x7, which my printer will print on. And then I just print on it and then cut it down to this size. And I'll show you why I like this paper specifically when I get to a different section. These are what I use for my daily pages. It's the grid notebook, and you can see I'm almost out, so I need to order a new one. This is the one that I use for my monthly pages because it's big enough to do the folds. So that's how I do that. Hopefully you can see it, it's big. So I use that to cut out this page at 10.25 inches, and then it's the 6.75 height. And then what I do is I just score at 3.75, so it's like a fold on the same size as a traditional personal size planner page. And then once I get that folded, then I'll turn this over and I'll just make this fit the edge and then push down here. And then go over it with a bone folder so it's nice a nice crease. So that's how I make those pages. I did have someone ask me about that before, so there's that. So I have each month in here. October, I have the pages ready to go for November and December, but I haven't gotten my stickers or filled in any of the paper. So I've been doing this since about middle of last year, and I really like it. It's based on DIY Fish's monthly system, and I do have some things that I have taken away from her system in this planner, so you'll see that influence in here as well. Okay, next section is my weekly section, and so these are printed from Peanuts Planner Co., and they're printed on that plain paper that I just showed you. And the reason that I like it on the plain paper is that I'm able to stamp and have no bleed through, not even really any show through. And I can do pretty big stamps on here too, pretty dark stamps, and it's fine. And I also like it because I can mark it up with my markers and highlighters, and it doesn't bleed through or anything. And it just has a really nice feel to it. Okay, so in this section, I'm going to show you one that I haven't written in yet, so you can see what it looks like. I actually have used 2 different inserts from her. So this is the weekly horizontal grid, and then this one is the weekly checklist. So I like to be able to open up my planner and see, here's all my appointments, everything I need to know about this specific date. And then over here are all my tasks that I need to get done for the week, and then I have a tracker here. So I like to be able to see everything for that week at a glance. So back to here. So what I do is I'll print one side with this, and then I'll flip all the pages over and print the other side with this, and then I just cut it out and punch it to fit in here. And then of course it doesn't come with dates, so you have to write in your dates and your month, things like that. Also forgot to mention about these tabs is that I do have them split, so I can pull them out and move them. And I made these also by laminating some vellum, and I like to have vellum because I can see through to what's on the other side, so I can still see everything. So as I mentioned, on my weekly pages, on this side, I do all of my appointments, and I'll put birthdays or important dates here. And I do have some color coding, but not a whole lot. So I'll put kind of reminders in this blue color. On this side, I like having my to-do list like this. So I just brain dump whatever I need to get done that week. And I'm not very good at like assigning it to a specific day. Right off the bat. So I do a whole like brain dump, put everything down that I need to get done that week. And if I think of something that I need to get done a couple weeks in advance, like this, I just put it down. And so when it comes to the time to plan for that week, I have my whole list here, and then I go through and figure out what day I want to do that task on. And then I will highlight the date that I'm planning on getting it done. So like September planner pages, I'm working on that, and I want to do it on Saturday or Sunday, just sometime over the weekend. If I don't have it highlighted, it means I don't have a specific day in mind that I want to get it done. So I do refer back to this throughout the week. And then my tracker, this is my weekly reset, which is that whole list of tasks that I have on my monthly page. And I will go through there and just check off what I have done. This is some medical stuff, other things that I'm working on. So, and I just check them off when I get them done. So that is that section. The next section is Harry Potter Hedwig. Love her. This section is just basically lists and notes. So this is the only other, I think, well, I have one other decorative thing, but this is about the only decorative thing I have in here. And I just have a list of books that I've read this year. This is TV shows that I've binge watched this year. I haven't decided yet if I want to put like the dates that I finished watching that season or if I want to put like the star rating of the season. So I haven't really filled that out yet, but these are the shows that I've binged this year. Just finished Big Bang Theory, all 12 seasons. And then movies that we've gone to in the theater, or movies on Netflix that I haven't seen before. There's that. And then the next section is my notes section. So this again is where I can flip to the notes and start taking notes. Mostly now, all of my notes are on my phone. I have an app where I take notes. And I only really take notes in here if it's related to a video, or, you know, because I'm already on my phone and I don't want to stop and go take a note. So I will do that a lot in here. And then I also have, like, if I need to draw something out, I will use my notes section in here. So I'm thinking, since I really want to have my notes with my planner archives, I will probably print out my notes relevant to the year and put them in with my archives. And I do number my notes pages. So if I need to reference something, let's say I'm watching a video and I want to reference it in my daily pages when I'm taking a note, I'll just put the page number of the note so I know to go back and look there. Oh, also, when I am indexing my planner pages on the monthly calendar, so here, if there's something in the notes that I want to index, I will put the page number here as well. And I've talked about my index a little bit in another video, but I basically go through from my daily pages and pull any important events or notes, things like that, and put them in here. And then I take the notes that I have in here for each month in the index and I put them into Evernote. And so when I need to look up something, it's very quick for me to find it because I just search for it in Evernote, and then I know where it is in my planner archive to come back to it. So for example, and I think I used this example before, if I want to know when was the last time I went to the dentist, I can just type in dentist in Evernote and it will pull up all the dates that I've gone to the dentist. And then I could go, if there were notes from that appointment, that would be noted there, and then I could come back to either the notes section or the daily page and look at the notes. That's how I do the notes section. Okay, the next section here is my daily pages. I usually print out the May designs calendar for the month, and I just resize it to fit the personal planner page, and I print it out on vellum because I think it looks pretty. And then I have my daily planner pages. Excuse me. So I do write out or draw these out myself. I don't print them out. I print them on that, or I write them on that grid paper that I showed you earlier. And I just stamp the date, the day of the week, and then I put a place for the weather. I write the times down here, and then I have a little line that separates the time side from the task side. So here I write my appointments and time specific information. Over here I write my tasks or reminders or anything like that about the day. And then the bottom section is related to notes. So typically, and I have been really bad about using my daily pages during the last, like basically since April, since all the COVID stuff. I'm trying to get back into it more now. So you can see I'm using it a little bit, but it's not, I haven't been using it as much. So just to show you kind of a page, maybe I'll pull out from my archives and show something that's better. But you can see I have sized this so I can put my appointments on stickers and put them in so they really stand out. You can see. I do also, yeah, let me pull something from my archives to show you because it's a little more interesting. Okay, so I do archive all of my planner pages into rings for each year. So this is what I have so far for 2020. And let me find, Okay, so let's just look at this day. For example, this was a weekend, but I put kind of what we did all day. I didn't have any appointments. So sometimes I will also track what we actually did. And then I use this line, the column right before that line, to track my time. I usually do this every day. I don't know why, but I do. So I'll put in like, okay, I woke up at 9, so I slept in until 9. So I put a little line there. And then I worked on crafting and stuff like that until like 6:30 p.m. And then we had dinner. So that I can kind of see that. Here's a work day. I got up and I walked on the treadmill. I worked for 9.5 hours. I took a half an hour lunch right here. So you can see the little slash in between the hour is a half an hour mark for me. So I can see exactly when I worked that day. You can see my weather. You can see the tasks. I use the bullet journal method system. So I have a dash for notes, and then I have the dot for tasks, and then I cross them out as I work on them. This one I actually did the day before, so I use that symbol. I also do color coding on my pages, so I need to get bigger rings already. It's getting hard to move this one. So you can kind of see from the side that I color code the pages, and I do have a color code chart back here that I've had for a long time, so I kind of know what the different colors are, and I made it correspond with the times, so I know that if I have something medical or health related, it goes into the square before 6 o'clock, so it makes it easier for me to go back in and fill in the square. So I do that on the edge of the pages, and it goes down to 10 p.m. because I want to reserve this space for notes specifically. So if I go back to here, I don't remember where I was. Oh, here. So I have a light blue note, and then I highlight the note, the dash on the note with the same color, so I can quickly go and see what it was. So I actually started on Project Life for 2020 in March. That's how my year has been. And then here's just a note about our house there, and that's the corresponding note that goes with it. So if I have something from this day, a note from this day, I will also put the color on this side because that's the way that I look through it to see. And I'll just color that note in and make sure, you know, it corresponds to the color on the side. So here's an example. Sorry, I have like allergies or something. Here's an example from last year. This is my archives from I guess this is 2018, not 2019. Where I have all of the color coding in there so you can see how that looks for a full year. This is so I have this here to refer back to, but I also have this that I created, and I can move this to a page. Let's say I want to take a note on a specific day. I can put it in behind the page and flip this out, and then just do the color coding that way also. I don't usually have to use this that much anymore because I've been doing it for several years, so that's what that is. And this also, I found a tutorial. I need to make a new one because it's falling apart. But I found a tutorial on how to make this, so if I can find it on YouTube, I will link it. It's how to make basically a dashboard, but I added an extra piece that I just folded and creased so that it folded over, but it made it rip. So I need to make a new one or just tape that up. But you can actually pull out this paper, and I can, if I have a different color coding system or I need to add something, then I can just do that part and not have to remake a whole laminated page. Okay, did I get through? That's my daily section. Then this next section is lists, and this is project planning, basically all lists related to projects. So that's where my tab on the bottom, my second tab on the bottom goes. So I could probably do a whole nother video just on project planning and how I do that. But I essentially keep a list of all the different projects and things that I think of. Whenever I think of something, I just come down here and jot it down. Let me show you from my archive again from this year. So in my project section, I do have how I kind of start doing that. So at the end of the year, like probably around October, November, my husband and I sit down and we just kind of list out, here are all the main things that we want to do this year for home, you know, in the coming year, for like home improvements, travel, personal things we want to organize, crafty projects that I want to work on. So we write them all down, and this is like our ideal wish list year, right? It doesn't mean we're necessarily going to do all of these things. But then we go through and we break them down into quarters. So we decide when we're going to do what, and then we take that and break it down more into monthly tasks or month, what month we're going to do that in. Obviously, this year did not work out as we had planned, but that's where we started. And then that moves into this, which is another Peanuts Planner Co. insert. And this one is each month. I have kind of customized this, I guess, because normally it's January, February, March, April, May, June. But I like to see my quarters together. So I covered up the dates with the with a sticker, and then just stamped the date here. So then I'll just list out all of the things from this that we want to do in the month. And then any other like appointments I know, like for example, I have to go to my cardiologist in February. So I will look at this from the previous year and write out all the appointments I know, because I have to go once a year to my cardiologist. I go to my dentist every 6 months and things like that. So I'll put all of those down here, and this is what I use in order to fill in the monthly projects list. So back here, right here, I will pull things in from here and put it over here, and then this gets scheduled into my weeks. I will also go through this list and pick out things that I want to work on that month and put that in the list as well. The other thing, this is actually a project planner that I have. Let me pull that out. It's a big letter size planner, disc bound. This is the HB90 method, so I will link that down below. But it's basically a whole workbook on filling out your goals. So let me pull this out. So for each quarter, I go through and I list out the projects that I want to work on, and goals. It's not just projects, so projects and goals. And then this is what I do. I color code them, and then I figure out when I'm going to do them during the month or during the quarter. And then I actually fill out I fill out sticky notes with them, and I put them on a Kanban board in my office, which is basically a board that has sticky notes on it for 3 different goals or projects. And then there's so it's divided into 3 columns with, goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, or project 1, 2, 3. And then I have tasks related to all those on sticky notes. And then each column is divided into 3 rows. And I have not started, I have working on, and then done. So I'll move my sticky notes down, and it just helps me to stay on track of my projects and my goals. So when I'm done filling all of this out and writing out all of my sticky notes, and I have it kind of finalized what I want to do for the quarter, then I will scan that and then just print out a small size. And it's still readable. I can still read this in here. I also have in this section some supporting things to help, like checklists. I'm big on checklists. I get motivated by checking things off. So I have checklists that kind of help me see where I'm at with different projects. So obviously project life, I I'm trying to get through the first half of the year and get that done so I can film a flip through of that. So you can see I have January, I have all my photos printed. February I have my photos. March is completely done. So I can just kind of at a glance see where I'm at with that. This is another project that I wanted to work on, which was photo organization. And I actually decided just not to do that yet. So it'll be in here for when I do come back to that project. I think that's it right now. So if I had any other projects where I needed to write something down or have checklists, that would go in this section. And my last section here is related to reference information. So I do have a lot of it paper clipped because it is very personal, but I will kind of walk you through what's in there. So I do have a trigger list here on, this is the GTD trigger list, getting things done, and then this is also the getting things done weekly review. So I refer to these when I'm working on my weekly list, when I'm trying to write down here like everything that I need to get done. I'll go through these and do that each week. I think I'm going to actually make these so I can pull them out and look at them while I'm filling out my weekly plan, which would help instead of having to flip back and forth. Okay, and then the rest of this section is just things I can't share because it's personal, but I wrote down what I have in here. So I have important contacts, so anything like my family's contact information, because if something happened to my phone, I don't know their contact numbers. So I would have to look in here and find that. I have like doctors' contacts in here. I have some contractors because we're working on redoing our kitchen. So I have contractor cards and things in here. I have medical reference information, so medications, tracking my diabetes A1C. I have a list for that. Weight tracker, just stuff related to medical in here that I need to refer back to. Packing lists, which I haven't needed for a while, but if I go on a trip, I have my packing lists in here so I can just go through, make sure I have everything I need. And then just miscellaneous reference lists in here. And that is all that I have in my planner. So I think if you guys have any questions, please let me know and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.